I just had a second phone for no reason. My wife be like, hey, you left your phone at the dresser. I'm like, well, I don't need it. It ain't gonna ring. F9 notes and then I bullet point everything I'm asking for. Why he asked for this? Well, he said this and this. It was a car wash / gentleman's club.
In 6th grade. That was
I'm sorry. I was in the 6th grade. It was 9th grade.
9th grade. Okay, all right.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Most people don't.
They don't.
Right? They don't even think about that as a career.
They didn't even think about it.
You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Aline, the co-author of the books Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors and The Best Known Roofer. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the leading digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I sit down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Here we're at a special event. We're recording live from the Roof Gallery in Marietta, Georgia at the Roofing Blacked event. And so as always, make sure you subscribe, follow, leave a review, do all of those things. Today we have Otis Floyd with Paramount Roofing. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Awesome, man. So Otis, how did you get into roofing?
So I got into roofing a different type of way. I was never a salesperson, nothing in production, but actually I was an insurance adjuster. So I was actually an insurance adjuster for over 12 years for one of the biggest insurance companies in the U.S.
And well, you were one of those guys.
Yeah, I was one of those guys, right? So we used to look at the roofers like, man, those guys are shady. But I started, meeting a lot of good roofers, and they would, just tell me about the industry and got a different outlook on it. And so I decided to come on this side. And the way it happened, we started our company September 19th of 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. So when I was telling family and friends that I was going to start a roofing company, they just thought I was crazy, like middle of the pandemic. But spoke with my wife, and she said, let's do it. And and it just the whole thing was I was just going to do it on the side.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In the middle of the pandemic, why would you start a new business? Like, what were you thinking about at that time? Like, people were very scared.
They was.
You weren't.
I wasn't at all. So that's how I've been all my life, though.
Yeah.
I'm always going against the grid.
Okay.
I'm always betting on myself. Anytime I bet on myself, I win. So when people were saying, man, you doing it in the middle of the pandemic, I said, this is the best time because everybody's at home.
Yes.
Everybody's at home. Everybody started doing work to their house, right? So when I was an adjuster in the middle of the pandemic, I was still working. And everybody was at the house. I wasn't meeting that many roofers, so a lot of roofers was kind of shying off. And when I jumped into it, I think that was the reason it took off so fast because, like I said, originally I was going to stay being an adjuster and do 1 or 2 roofs a month, make that little bonus money, put to the side. And but like every month, it just got more and more clients, to the point where we was doing one roof a day. And so I had to set aside being an adjuster because it was a good thing that one of my good buddies he was actually my boss, and he was just like, Otis, man, what's going on? Your productivity on this side is kind of going down. I had to let him know, like, hey, look, man, I started this roofing company. He said, well, we got to let you go. Yeah. But I held on that for a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I held on that for a year. And I was able to just...
Yeah, that don't quit one job until you have another
until you have
mentality.
Another one.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's how that went. And every dollar and penny I made from roofing, I saved for a whole year. And that really helped me out.
Definitely. And so from the insurance adjuster side, when you were kind of noticing these contractors, what was important to you? Like you saw, man, these guys this company seems like they're doing it right. This company seems like they're not really doing it right. What were some of those things that you wanted to bring into your business on the way through?
So the main thing was customer service. The second thing was the lines of communication. So I noticed the good roofers, the homeowners always said, complimented them on the lines of communication. So that's where our foundation is customer service and picking up the phone when they call.
It's amazing when you do that.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how good things happen when you pick up the phone.
When you pick up the phone. You know how many deals I got for picking up the phone where a homeowner was like, I called 5 roofers. You the only one picked up.
Yeah.
And it's a 45 square roof.
Yeah.
And I get the job just because I picked up the phone.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. There's so much opportunity in just doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes. Doing what you're supposed to do. And then being transparent with the homeowner.
Yeah.
You know, I let them know beforehand, okay, you got this type of insurance company. They're going to be tough. These are the steps that's going to happen. And then when they happen, they're not shocked or they're not mad. They're like, you told us this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm calm. I know you're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
And I end up, taking care of it.
Yep, for sure. So now all of a sudden you're doing 1 roof a day.
Yeah.
How did you get things in order? Because that came on fast, it sounds like.
And see, it was a blessing being an adjuster, because as an adjuster, you got to be organized. Because as an adjuster, when I started in 2010, they'd throw 150 claims on you. So that's 150 customers that I got to manage. So it was actually easy for me when I started building up my clientele the way it is, because I always stayed on top of everything. I never let anything sit on my desk. You know, my wife is the witness. She'll see where I come home and I'm up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Just making sure that I'm writing estimates. I'm setting up for the following day, because that's what I did as an adjuster.
Yep.
So it made that process a lot easier for me. So, I'm dealing with 30 customers compared to 150 customers as an adjuster.
So as you're going along, you get to 1 roof a day. Are you the only person selling?
Well, no.
Okay.
I was. So what happened was when I was an adjuster, I met a roofer. My good guy named Sean Williams. And he kept calling me like, hey, man, I want to talk to you. I'm like, man, why does this roofer keep calling me out the blue saying he want to talk to me? So I told her, I said, all right, meet me on Thornton Road at a cigar spot. So we met there, and he was like, look, man, I really like your vibe. I'm thinking about opening up a roofing company. I said, well, I already put in my paperwork to, start my roofing company. He said, well, I want to come sell for you. And so Sean was the first guy. He said, I already got 2 customers ready to go. So I said, okay. And then after that, I called a good friend of mine named Curtis Goff that I knew him for over 15 years. And I knew he was in sales with beauty products. He could talk.
Oh.
He could sell. So I called Curtis up and, hey, man, what you doing? And he was telling me what was going on. I said, look, come try out being, selling roofs for me. He didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Most people don't.
They don't.
Right? They don't even think about that as a career.
They didn't even think about it. So he's like, I come on and try it out. If it feel good, I'll stay. Because Curtis is, he's an older gentleman. He's in his 60s and he don't got time for no games. And so Curtis was like, hey, look, man, I don't got time to be wasting my time. If it feel good, I'll do it. Now he's my top sales guy.
Yeah.
He's been with me ever since. Top sales guy. He closed deals. I took him with me probably about 3 months, and I just taught him the game. Just taught him what to look for and everything. And he soaked it in. And when he got that first check, he was sold. He's like, it's over.
Yeah. Once you get that first check, it's a nice check. Probably from beauty products to it's probably a nicer check.
Yeah,
I would think, right?
It was most definitely.
And so you had to train a couple of people pretty quickly. You had one person that came over that knew roofing.
He knew roofing.
He was able to sell for you, and then you had another gentleman that you had to train.
Yeah.
Have you, during that process, have you documented that and kind of systematized that as you're bringing on new reps, or you still just have the 2 sales reps? How are you running it now?
So now Curtis is over sales. So anytime somebody new want to come in, he'll vet them first before they meet me. Okay. So we had some guys come in, but I use different strategies.
Yeah.
With sales guys, I like the ladder assist guys. I like talking to different adjusters. So I use different strategies to bring in leads.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's go into a little bit more depth in that because, you don't have a business without leads.
Exactly.
Right? And you have to put yourself out there to get those leads. So how have you put together your kind of marketing strategy, I guess is what we could call it?
Well, first I got on Google, my business, Google local service. I got an SEO company, and the way all that came in, because at first we was 100% door knocking.
Yep.
And then the month of February, things kind of just slowed down for us. Like after our first year in business, and I'm looking like, man, I got to do something. So that's when I started just investing in the SEO company.
Yep.
I started investing in the Google local service, and then the phone started to ring. At first, the phone wasn't ringing at all. I just had a second phone for no reason. My wife be like, hey, you left your phone at the address. I'm like, well, I don't need it. It ain't going to ring. So I started investing into the SEO company, and the leads started coming in.
Yeah.
And when the leads came in, I just shared it with my guys. I didn't take none of them. I gave it all to them. So they could build up their clientele.
So to me, it sounds like from the beginning, you're building a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of contractors start off more of a self-employment kind of mindset, right? They're the everything in their business.
Yes.
Where did you learn that from? Did you think about that consciously, or did you just that's how it ended up happening?
No, I always had an entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
Like in sixth grade, my best grade was a class they started called Entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I ended up getting an A. I ain't gonna tell you my business, but me and my father was going to run it. It was funny, but I had to write a whole report on it, a business plan, and it was, I'm gonna say it because I'm proud of it. It was a car wash / gentleman's club.
In sixth grade, that was
I'm sorry. I was in sixth grade. It was ninth grade.
Ninth grade. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
By ninth grade, you had the gentleman's club. You were ready for the gentleman's club at ninth grade.
And my mom was like, "Don't you do it?" And my father, he loved the concept. Get a car wash and get the gentleman's club.
Yeah.
So my mind, I was always thinking of entrepreneurship. I always wanted to open up my own business. I had other business before Paramount Roofing. And, they failed, but I learned from them.
Those are those lessons. Like, I mean, people, you can lose or learn, right?
Yeah.
And if you have the mindset of learning instead of losing,
yes,
you're going to end up winning in the end, right? And so what were some of those early businesses and some of those things that maybe stick out to you in those? Like, I just didn't do something right in those.
Okay. One was, I think, I was still in high school. It was called SMC. It was something dealing with sales. Mm-hmm. But back then, it wasn't an internet. It was a catalog book.
Okay.
So I had a catalog book, and I used to go to all my friends and families and say, hey, don't you want to buy something in the catalog? And then that company ended up, I think I was only like in 11th grade.
Okay.
That company failed when one of the customers never gave me my catalog book back.
You couldn't sell anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't sell anymore. And I was too scared to go say, hey, I need my catalog book back. And that failed. But when I got older, because I played 10 years of professional football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I did that up in Canada.
Yeah.
And did pretty well,
Yeah.
Won multiple championships, won Defensive Player of the Year, multiple All-Stars, things of that nature. So I always had that being a professional and just that work ethic. My whole motto was I'm never going to let anybody outwork me.
Yeah.
You might be better than me, but you ain't going to outwork me. You ain't going to out-hustle me. I got that from my mother, and I got the hard work from my father.
Yeah.
So I combine those two, and anything I put my mind to, I believe I could do it.
How did sports play a role in or what role does that play in you? Because in sports, and to get to a professional level, you have to be executing on a daily basis, right? Like there's no taking days off. There's no you can't. So what lessons did you learn in your sports career that you've carried over into business? You gotta
want it more than anybody else. Because my father, he wasn't the type of father he was never pushing me to play sports. He was never, hey, go out there and throw the ball. Hey, let's go train. He wasn't that type of guy. He was working. I wanted it. So I learned I need it. If I want it, I'm going to get it. I can't have my wife say she wanted more than me, or my friends say they wanted more than me, because I'm not going to really do it.
Yeah.
Because they really want it. So that's what I learned about sports, that if I want it, I got to go get it. And it was crazy because at my pinnacle when I was winning Defensive Player of the Year and I was winning multiple championships and other accomplishment, them young guys used to come in like, man, why you working so hard in practice? You working like somebody come and take your position. Because in my mind, that's how I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody come and take my position. So I always woke up, and still to this day, I wake up with fear. You know, fear of failure, fear of, oh man, this is not real. This is too good to be true. I'm gonna lose this. I'm gonna lose it. So I got to go out here, and I got to work extra hard. So, and that's how I was all my life, and still to this day.
There's like I heard it one time talk about in entrepreneurship, but also what you're talking about too is that like the wolf is always chasing you.
The wolf is always chasing you. Man, right. I never heard that before, but that is true.
It rings true. Like that when I heard it, it was like, that's it. Yeah. You always have to have some kind of anxiety about that, right? 100%. And not an unhealthy anxiety, but a healthy anxiety that you need to outrun, outperform, outwork to continue to move ahead. And so you learn that about yourself, and you always outworked. And you hear that from like all the top athletes. Jerry Rice was one of those. I grew up in Northern California when Jerry Rice was playing, and there were stories about him like that he never stopped.
Yes.
Never, ever. You know, everybody else is done with practice. Jerry has 3 more that day.
And that's how it was.
Kobe the same way, right?
Yeah.
You hear all those stories about Kobe. Yeah. Same thing. Like Kobe's there an hour before everyone. Yeah. And if you weren't there with him, he's not passing you the ball.
He's not passing you the ball. And that work ethic and that mindset transferred over to my adult life and doing, roofing.
Yes.
And I take that because look, I mean, one day I was hustling. I had probably like 6 inspections. We had 2 roofs going up, and I was like, I'm headed to the house. I'm in my subdivision. I could see my house. Yeah. I get a call. Can you come out and give me a quote for my roof? I said, where you stay? Monroe, Georgia. That's 50 minutes away. I said, hey, I could go home. And she probably could call somebody else. I said, I come out, the next day. I bust the U-turn. Drove all the way out there, 50 minutes. Sold my pitch. Got the job.
Yeah.
Just because I showed up.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to show up. I showed up and I got the job.
One of the things I've learned a lot in business and, in interviewing contractors, and then I also coach other business owners and things like that too. And I always see that a lot of times people don't understand the actual effort.
Yeah.
Did you see that in sports too? Like with some people, like they don't understand the effort to play at the high levels.
They don't.
And to execute on a business at a high level. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think they know.
Yeah.
They think that they're putting in enough effort. Do you see that?
I see that because it's magnified now with social media.
Yes.
Because everybody only see the glory.
Yeah.
Everybody only see, hey, I closed this deal, or talking about the accomplishment, but they don't see the 10 years that I put in as a adjuster to learn the policies and roofing and things like that. They didn't see me up at 3 a.m. and then waking up at 6 a.m.
That's right.
Or struggling, to learn the business as an insurance adjuster when I first started, you know. Yeah. So.
Yep. And then also I think that all those experiences build on top of each other. That's what made me think of it, because you're like, as an insurance adjuster and even your professional sports career, and then, all of these, your early entrepreneurship and your car wash strip club. I'm sorry, gentleman's club.
Gentleman's club.
There's all these things that they build on top of each other. Yeah. And so for, there's a lot of people that maybe they're struggling now, but they're not at the end of their journey yet. There's things that they like. The first thing is just show up.
Show up. Right? Answer the phone.
Answer the phone. Show up. It makes business work. It makes your business successful just by doing that. You're gonna. That's doing more than a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now going back, you have 2 sales reps. You're building that up. Now you have a sales manager. Yeah. So he's moved up and into a sales management role.
Yeah.
What do you focus on? Who are the other key roles that you have in your business that make sure that you're working on your business and not in your business?
Like I said, we're a smaller company.
Yeah.
So I wear a lot of hats. I know it's going to get to a point where, I'm probably going to have to bring in somebody else or hire somebody else. I really, I'm going to bring in my wife. She's a CPA. I'm scared because she gonna whip us in shape.
Those numbers have to be right, though.
Yeah. But no, I know it's gonna get to a point where I will have to most definitely, take off some hats because I'm getting more and more calls every day now.
Yeah.
And I really love dealing with my customers.
Yeah.
I love being face to face talking to them so they can understand that, okay, this gentleman really know what he's talking about.
Yes.
He understands. I don't see, when I mention the insurance company I got, his eyes don't go down. I look him dead in the face. Oh yeah, we deal with them all the time. And I got a lot of jobs like that because, certain insurance companies are harder than others.
There are.
And the homeowners know. And they see any flaw or weakness in that contractor who can't perform or get that claim approved for them, they lost confidence in them.
Yeah.
And I won a lot of jobs because another roofer, they lost the confidence of their homeowner because they said, oh, man, you got them? Oh, my God, they too tough. They rough. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't give them none of that.
Yeah. And that was probably some of the most valuable experience that you could have gotten as an adjuster to bring that over into your roofing company. And I've had a couple of interviews with people who have a public adjusting company and a roofing company, and so they know they have an advantage in that, right? And probably the same way that you have the advantage.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that contractors need to know in dealing with insurance companies?
They are not the boogeyman. They are not. A lot of roofers, like when I was an adjuster, a lot of roofers was scared to really talk to the adjuster, or they didn't know how to write a supplement, or they didn't know how to deal with Xactimate. You can't be in this business if you're not using the same tools the insurance company use. You get a lot of contracts written in paper, and here it go, and that's fine. But you're dealing with an adjuster that might only have 5 months of experience. And they don't know how to reconcile a detailed itemized estimate that they sent over to a contractor who's been in the business 40 years, know exactly what he's doing and exactly know what he's talking about, but he's writing it down. They don't know how to decipher the two. So you got to make it real easy for that adjuster.
So speak their language. And their love language is Xactimate.
It's Xactimate. And make it real easy for them. Anything that you supplement for, put it in bold and highlight. Put an F9 note and explain what you're asking for. And a lot of roofers or contractors, when they send over their supplement, they just send the supplement over. That's it, and won't get any explanation or what they're asking for, because that adjuster got to answer to a manager for any approval.
Yeah.
So why are we paying for this, this, and this? I don't know. He put it in the estimate. Deny it. When I submit it over, F9 notes and then I bullet point everything I'm asking for. Why he asked for this? Well, he said this and this.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Give it to him.
It's making your case.
Making your case,
but using their language to speak that case. What are some of the things that you found that are easier or like that people don't think about supplementing for? Maybe some things that hey, or the way that they should explain it to the adjuster to help get their claims approved.
Yeah, whatever they're asking for, have it back up with documentation or photos. That make it real easy for them. So if you asking for additional vents due to code upgrades, send in the documents with it.
Yeah.
Make it easy for the adjuster. Really, the adjuster supposed to look it up. But if they don't know how to look it up, they're going to deny it.
Yeah.
It just make it that much easier for them to say, no, I don't. Well, I never had to. Nobody ever asked for this before, so I talked to my manager, and he said, no, you didn't talk to your manager. All right, stop. I know.
When you were an adjuster, how many files were you working at a time?
When I was the adjuster?
Yeah.
So if I go to
like in your peak, like a peak, you know.
When I go to a good hailstorm in Texas, like I said, the first day I get there, before I get there, I got 75 claims waiting for me. So I got 75 customers.
Yeah.
I got 75 agents, you know. And then this next day, they just drop another 30 on me. And then the third day, they'll drop another 30 on me. So at the end of the day, I got 150 customers I got to deal with. And I got to take 3 days to make all contacts to set up appointments. And before I set up the appointments, I got to print out all the papers, and I got to really much map it out. And that's what I learned through my years of being an adjuster. When I first was an adjuster, I used to just print everything out and call everybody and just set the appointment.
Yeah.
Now I'm running all over town. I'm spending more time behind the windshield than on the roof.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to more seasoned adjusters. I said, man, how you doing 7 a day? I know you ain't not working me. How you doing 7 a day? I only can get 4 in. He said, you got to prep it in the beginning.
Yeah.
You got to map everything out. Because I was noticing I do a roof. I inspect the roof on this street. Then I go way on the other side of town, do a roof. And then the next day, I'm doing that same roof right next door to the one I did. I said, man, I could have knocked those 2 out.
Yep.
So it was all about preparation.
A little bit of preparation there. Yeah. But can you imagine? So now for contractors, listen to this, because in a major hailstorm, that adjuster has 150 files on their desk.
They do.
So if you can make it easier for them, anything you can do to make it easier on them,
anything I can do to make it easier for them, once they get it approved.
Yeah,
I'm one of their best friends when they're trying to get it approved.
That's right.
But once I get it approved, I send them with my supplements. I'm the pit bull.
Yeah.
We sent over that supplement a week ago. The homeowner's waiting. What's going on? It shouldn't take that long.
Is it a lot of times? What's this like? How people say it? Like the loudest person, right?
I use that analogy with my homeowners. I say, well, now you have to call in because the squeaky wheel to get oil first. Yep. They be like, okay, I understand.
Yep.
And once they call in, then their claim get moved from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Because I say, look, tell me you want to speak to a manager. It shouldn't take this long. Now management in it. Call your agent. Now the agent's in it. Oh, yeah, I'm giving it to him because now I got to cater to my customer, my homeowner.
Yeah.
No longer the adjuster.
Yeah.
Right? So because if I take too long, another roofer might knock on their door.
That's right.
And cut costs on me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go with them because they came in $2,000 short. No, I'm moving. You gotta keep that ball moving. Yeah.
And that's an important thing too. And then that helping the homeowner get through that process, helping them communicate and get their claim moved through faster, that builds trust. That builds trust.
They say he know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I keep everything transparent. I CC my customer on everything I send over to the insurance company.
Yeah.
Because what I learned is, as an adjuster, homeowners used to call in. He sent over a contract $5,000 more than what y'all originally sent over. So I explained all that to them.
Right.
Hey, they gonna write a real basic estimate. I'm gonna write me a supplement after I review it. I'm gonna CC you on it and explain to you what I'm asking for, and they should pay that because they owe that to you.
Yeah.
Now they understand, like, oh, okay, because I supplemented 95% of my claim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you should.
Yeah, 100%.
Which you should, because they should pay for what needs to be done. And so if it blows me away that a lot of times people are not supplementing.
The reason they don't supplement because they moving too fast. So they leaving a lot of money on the table.
How much?
How much they leaving on the table?
Yeah, how much? How much? If you're not properly supplementing your jobs,
thousands.
How much are you leaving on the table?
Thousands. So I'll tell you like this. I get the estimate from the adjuster, and it might be $425 a square. Some guys are happy with that. I take that $425 and I write a supplement up to $530 or $620 a square. And once I get it to $620 a square, I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah, because my material is only going to be about 35%.
Yeah.
You know, and then I pay my guys, my contractors. You know, his going to be, anywhere from like 20% or probably about 10% or something like that. And then the dumpster, I'm walking away with close to 50, somewhere 55. I seen one claim that I did 65%.
Yes. So that's what healthy businesses are built on margin.
Margin, yeah.
Right? Healthy businesses are built on healthy margins.
Yes.
When you're scraping by, it's not you're not going to be around.
I was gonna say you good for the season,
yeah.
But during the off season, you're struggling.
Yeah.
You can't go knock back on that door. Hey, or call back that adjuster. Hey, I want to supplement because I just took your first quote, but I don't have no money for the winter.
That's right.
And but everything I sent over, it's a different way to supplement. Some people throw everything on the wall and see what sticks.
Yes.
I don't do it like that because I know I got to deal with that adjuster down the line again.
Yeah.
Things I asked for, like I said, I'm documenting it. I'm taking photos. This is why I need it. And then if I ask for it, we documented that we did it.
Yeah.
So now they say, okay, these guys is really doing it. So for me to get a roof for $550 or $600 a square is coming.
Yeah. And it's not that you're trying to inflate the price. You're getting what's necessary for the job and to have a profitable job.
Have a profitable job.
Because as you get into the other side of it now, there's operational cost. There's your overhead. There's your marketing dollars. There's a lot of other things that go into your business.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those dollars, you're never going to be able to. So when you're paying your SEO company and paying your, buying those Google local services ads, leads, and doing all of these other things, you need that.
You do.
And I think in starting, I guess, people are a little bit worried right now moving into a recession.
Yeah.
Right. And I know in the storms, it doesn't really matter. Right. Like that doesn't stop. That doesn't matter what the economy is.
Yeah.
But starting out in the middle of the pandemic, and then now with the horizon of an economic recession, what thoughts do you have in that? Do you worry about that at all? Do you plan on, hey, this is maybe another opportunity?
Yeah. Because
like you said in 2020, people like the contractors stopped. They weren't answering their phones. Or like, how are you looking at that?
Well, I'm always looking 3 steps ahead of everything what's going on, right? So even my wife, she'll tell you, like, do you ever shut it off? Like I said, I wake up scared, so I don't shut it off.
Yeah.
I got to provide for my wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
We got a nice life. So, but the way I prepare for that is, like I said, the money I made from roofing, I look to invest in real estate. So once this economy do have a recession, that door is going to open up. For now, the houses I'm looking at, that's what's going for, $200,000. I might could get it for, wholesale prices now.
That's right.
So now I'm taking that money from roofing and investing into the real estate, taking advantage of the recession that's going to happen.
Yes.
So I'm always thinking.
Yeah. So having a profitable business.
Yes.
Allows you to take advantage of other opportunities. I talked to a gentleman on my podcast he's from Miami, with Z Roofing and Waterproofing, and he started off, his father had the company, and then he went to college for finance or something like that, and then went and worked for a real estate developer down in Miami.
Yeah.
And he learned that he wasn't going to be at the table. He was at the table. He was part of the company of these developments, but without money to put into the deal, he was never going to be in the deal. Right? And so he saw opportunity in kind of taking over his father's company and expanding on it.
Yeah.
And creating that financial opportunity for himself and his family that then he could get to that seat later on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of contractors out there that are wasteful with their money. Yeah. Having a wife as a CPA probably keeps you in check a little bit.
Yeah, but I always been disciplined like that.
Yes.
My father, he taught me that. My father, really, I'm a reflection of him.
Yeah.
I'm a true reflection of my father, and that's my hero. So he was always good with money, always good with his credit. He always would tell me that when I was young. He taught me how to fill out a checkbook before he taught me how to throw a football.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is why you're supposed to fill out the checks and balances with your checks. Balance my checkbook, son. I was like, well, I got to balance your checkbook for. But it all makes sense now, right? So, no, I'm always trying to be prepared for the next thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, when I held on to being an adjuster for a year and was able to save every dollar, every penny from roofing, because my first year I didn't have a marketing budget, right?
Yeah.
We were door to door. I didn't have Google Local Service. I didn't have no overhead.
Yep.
So I was able to save a big chunk of money, and while still, being an adjuster. And that really, I say, anybody get into this business, I think, or any type of entrepreneurship or open their own business, is keep whatever job you got that's paying you.
Yes.
Work on being an entrepreneur or your business, and just keep saving money, because you need that extra, that extra income, or that extra income and that profit coming in, and that really helped me to the point now where every job, and this I also get I closed a lot of deals, is that I don't take no down payment, no deposit.
Oh.
No down payment, no deposit. So I don't care if it's a $50,000 job. I don't take no down, and the homeowners be like, wow, really? I said, nah, no down payment, no deposit.
Yeah.
Once you walk around and you happy with the roof, and I fly my drone, take photos, and you and your husband or you and your wife happy with the roof, that's when I collect that first check. Really? Because the other guy, he wanted my whole first check from the insurance company. I don't know him.
And you hear it often. There's stories on the news. There's stories on the news all the time of the contractor that took grandma's money, right? And so I always think about that in terms, like in speaking to your customers and developing trust with them, is that these little things, right? But having a healthy business allows you to do that, allows you to not have to take deposits. But when you're talking to that homeowner, you're different.
I'm different. Yeah.
You don't need to do the job with their money.
Exactly.
And I've worked with contractors over the years and many different things, real estate deals and stuff, and it's like, I don't know if I want to give you this check right now, because work isn't done yet, right?
Work haven't even got started yet.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be on the schedule to start the work.
And if I have to give you, $5,000, $10,000 to get this job started, I don't know about, like, how good of a business are you running?
Really?
Right?
Really. And I met with a lot of savvy homeowners that said that. They're like, only reason you got my job is because you didn't ask for a down payment or deposit. Because if you did, I wasn't gonna. That tell me a lot about your company.
That's right.
And
without saying anything.
Without saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people was wondering how I was getting all these big jobs when I first started down in LaGrange, Georgia. Come on, man. I'm a big black man. I'm down in LaGrange, Georgia. And I'm racking up a whole neighborhood because I didn't ask for a deposit or down payment. And one of the gentlemen, the first house we did, he said he got scammed probably, and it was something on the news in LaGrange about 5 months ago with a roofer that was scamming. He said, because you didn't ask for a deposit, I'm going to give you the job.
Yeah.
And then he spread the word through the neighborhood. And all these roofs was 45, 50 squares. And this was my first year in business. I said, I'll take it.
But you were able to do that because of the financial discipline that you've had your whole life.
Yeah.
So let's make that clear to people,
That's
right?
clear.
It doesn't just start right away. Like you put in the work prior.
Most definitely.
Right? And built that up. And by doing that, how many jobs in LaGrange did you guys do?
Man, we ended up doing about 12 jobs.
Okay.
Yep. And this was during the slow period. This was during September, October, November, December, and in the beginning of the year, January, they kept feeding us. So that was a true blessing. And I learned those lessons from the failures of, I wouldn't call it the failures, but I guess the failures of other companies that I started when I was young.
Yeah.
Not having capital.
Yeah.
Trying to just do it off I got money to get started, but not having capital, not understand how to really use and utilize my capital.
Yeah. And it's fun to it's fun to look back.
Yeah.
Right? It's fun to look back and connect those dots along the way.
It is.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So door knocking is still a major part of your guys' business, right? No. Okay. Now the lead flow is coming in. You don't need the door knocking as much.
We really concentrate on door knocking the day the jobs go up.
Yes.
Other than that, we getting referrals, leads coming in from Google.
Yep.
And I told Curtis that, I said, look, Curtis, we're gonna be 100% door knocking. If we stick with it, it's gonna go from 100% door knocking to 80-20, 20 leads, 80 still door knocking.
Yeah.
Then gonna go 60-40, and then gonna go 50-50. Then the tide's gonna change, brother. It's going to be when you don't even have to door knock no more, because we got our referral going on. We got this Google local service, the SEO company working for us, our marketing, people seeing us in the neighborhood. I'm writing donations to Little League baseball teams.
Yes.
Just to get our names out there.
Being in the community, being part of it, getting seen.
Yeah.
I always think that, and I've said this on the podcast probably too many times now, but the most successful contractors I've ever met are the ones that are good at turning one into many.
100%.
Right? And it's through those referrals, it's through the knocking the neighbors, it's through all of that.
Yep.
Like the LaGrange example, right? Like you did a good job for the one homeowner, and then all of a sudden there's 12 jobs.
There's 12 jobs.
And so your cost of that customer acquisition cost goes down tremendously.
It does.
Right? We're here at the Roof Gallery, and John Senick, the Roof Pro, was inducted in the Roof Gallery. He has some things on the wall over there. And I had a podcast episode with him, and he knocks doors.
Yeah.
But he would only knock doors, and he is in Indiana. He would only knock doors until May, June.
Okay.
And the referral business that he accumulated from those initial jobs would carry him to sell $2-3 million in a year.
Yeah, that's the
Right?
beauty of it. Yeah.
So along the way, what have you learned about turning that one into many? What are the strategies that you use? What are the things that work best?
Money, referral program.
Oh, okay.
Hey, homeowner, thank you for giving us your business. If you know any family, friends, coworkers that need just a free inspection, roof leaking, let us know. We get the job. I give you $225. Oh, really? Yeah, I give you $225. Yeah. So little Miss Johnson, she calling everybody at church, or she over the board in the neighborhood. I had to pay one customer like close to like $2,000 because she just kept bringing in referrals. Uh-huh. And to the point where I told her, look, you gave me about 8 leads right now. If you keep doing this, I give you 10% or whatever the job is.
You might hire her as a salesperson.
Yeah, I actually, that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
I try to turn my customers into my sales lead generation.
Yeah,
if you get over 10 leads for me, I'll start giving you percentage of the next jobs. And they like, really? And I give them an example. So if the roof is $20,000, you make $2,000. Well, can I get a hat and some cards and some flyers? You sure can. I give you everything you need, because I wouldn't have got those leads.
That's right.
If it wasn't for her anyway.
Yeah.
They calling up the church. Hey, can you go do an inspection on the church? Now I'm looking at churches. So I use that. I talked to another good. I ain't gonna get my $1 million worth of gas. I ain't gonna get that away. You got to pay for
the people. The people. No,
hey, the game to be sold. Not
all
told.
Right. But that's such an important thing in establishing. First, you've established trust. You've done a good job. Now they're happy.
Yeah.
To refer you, and there's an incentive for them along with it. So,
so here's the key that I want to make sure that I put out there. It's not about the money, right?
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's about taking care of that customer.
Yes.
So when we get that customer, I try to have them feel like they my only customer.
Yeah.
I'm always picking up the phone. I'm calling, checking on them. The day we put up the job, we always on site. I'm on site. One of the guys is on site. We put up tents. We got banners up.
Yeah.
It's like we make it like a party. All my guys got on orange shirts with the logos on the back, so we look professional. And I'm making sure while the process is going on that we cleaning up the yard during the process. Because look, neighbors are watching.
They are.
They watching. So they looking to see what you do with them before they give you a call.
Yeah.
And then the homeowner, they already in a good mood because it's risk free for them.
Yeah.
They didn't give me no money. If they don't like the job, they don't even got to pay me.
Yeah.
Right? So after we do all of that, any concerns, any issues, if we broke a pot or damage a Japanese maple leaf, anything like that, how much did that cost? It's going to cost, I don't know. I said, well, look, would 200 work? Yeah, that'll work. Well, give me a cash app. I'll send you 200.
Yeah.
I had a customer. She was a single lady in the house by herself, and we damaged her flower bed. And her sister called her from work. She come flying home. She was mad because she was a correction officer. She said, this was my therapy.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, my goodness. I said, so what would it take? She said, I don't know. I said, I'll give you $300. She said, no, that's too much. I said, no, I'll give you $300. She said, okay. I said, send me your cash app. Are you going to really pay me? Within 10 minutes, I paid her. She gave me 2 other leads.
Yeah.
And wrote a 5-star review.
That's something that happens a lot. Like issues the way you deal with issues leads to future business.
Yeah.
A lot of times people aren't impressed with the easy job.
100%. Yeah.
But when something goes wrong and you're there to take care of it and fix it and make sure that it's right by any means necessary, you're gonna cash app $300. You're gonna do whatever it takes to get this job right.
Yep.
That a lot of times that leads to better outcomes.
It does.
Right?
Because they see you care.
That's right.
Once they see you care, because look, it's never an issue until the homeowner see that you don't care.
Yeah.
Then it's an issue.
Yeah.
Or you avoid their call. Then it's a problem. But if you pick up the phone, try to resolve the issue, because I got over 150 5-star reviews, and I only been in business for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
150 5-star reviews, and not all 150 went perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, I had to give out some gift cards. I had to go back and make things right. I had to, and by me being a man of my word, they wrote the best reviews for me.
Yeah.
And gave me additional jobs.
Yeah, like reading a review that says things went wrong, but they fixed it.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
That's real powerful. I got a job like that.
Powerful.
I got a job. I got a referral list that I got a whole package that I hand to the homeowner, and I got a referral list. And this one lady, she actually called, and she called the lady. The lady told her that Otis is a great guy, man of his word. Something went wrong, he made it right. And the homeowners stated, yeah, she said something went wrong. She told me what happened, but you made it right. So she said, keep doing what you're doing. I want to go with you.
Yeah.
I said, that was 50 squares. I said, okay.
And that's important, right? Like it's taking care of people. Your reputation is probably the most important thing you can have. Like I had another gentleman on the podcast one time, and he pointed up at his logo that was on the wall. Mm-hmm. He said, "This is everything.
It's everything.
Like the logo was everything. Like the reputation of his company was the most important thing."
Yeah.
What do you think your greatest insight is that you could share with the audience that has helped you find success in your roofing business?
One of the greatest insights?
Yeah.
Just being persistent, just any diversity, figuring out how to overcome that. Don't take no for an answer, right? Yeah. Figure things out, because it's hard out here, but it's a lot of jobs out here. If you could find out and here go one thing I always say with my guys when we go into a neighborhood and I see that maybe 60% of the roofs has been done, and you might got like 20% that haven't been done. I tell them guys, look, that's money for us right there. I said, somebody knocked on their door or they already filed a claim and they've been denied. So we could fix the problem. We got the job.
Yeah.
And we'll go. I love those neighborhoods. So I got a Pacific card that I got printed out just for those type of homeowners that I leave in their mailbox, and we follow back up. I said, we could fix the issue. We got the job. So that's one of the biggest things I could take away from just being owning your own business. If you could figure out the problem,
Yeah.
you could get to the money.
Yeah, man. Solving problems.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast.
Man, thank you.
Yeah, man.
If you would like to generate more revenue for your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com to get a copy of the book, The Best Known Roofer. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. Thanks for listening.